Negative feeling thoughts keep you mentally fat and lazy. Those negative feeling thoughts, just like junk food, you can't help but indulge in that rush. It's a rush we're chasing, that negative, the bad, that quiet rage of the bad and unsatisfactory and less than. That negative downward angle, that negative downward attitude. It's always so tempting to indulge in that. You think about that person and just fuck that person. They're so stupid. You feel the sharpness, the rigidity of that. And that downward angle of, I don't think I can do that. Or, life sucks now. It's so much easier. You feel the downward slope to these things. The indulgence in the negative. These negative angled thoughts, limiting beliefs, and inner stories that circulate. And you feel that heaviness weigh on you. And just like indulging in the junk food, these negative angled thoughts, they weigh you down. They feel heavy. They keep you closer to earth. There's a heaviness to them. And on the other side, there's this upward angle to things. There's these other thoughts that actually bring you energy instead of drain you. They make you feel light, like athletic, agile. They make you feel clean, lean, strong. There's the downward angle and there's the upward angle. And you have the ability to train yourself on whichever one you want to train yourself on. And as a result, whichever one you choose, that's how your mental body will take form. And that negative downward slope, if that's the indulgence in the junk, that's where you sit, you're going to feel mentally fat, lazy, incapable. If you practice that upward angle, if you train yourself on the enthusiasm, the positive angled thoughts, that upward slope, you're going to feel mentally athletic. You're going to feel mentally lean, strong, sharp, clear. You're going to have a mental body that is like a bodybuilder, that is aesthetic, that is nice to be around. Nice to look at, nice to experience. And when you practice this negative downward slope, you feel this heaviness, you feel this extra chub, so to say, take form, like extra chub at the waist. It's heavy and it makes life a drag. And you can see the multitude of different ways that this manifests, this negative downward slope, reflecting in the past. So much better back then. A feeling of separation of now is not satisfactory. Back then was so much better. Empty apologies. You just apologize for no reason. And you constantly train yourself on that emotion of emptiness, of, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm not good enough. My bad. You can train yourself either way. And this mental diet of yours, whichever mode of consumption you want to choose here, this mental diet is only a habit. It's only a habit. And that downward slope, that negative thought is followed by a negative emotion. And you train yourself on that, just like going to the gym. On the other hand, that positive thought is followed by a positive emotion. And you train yourself on that, just like going at the gym. And there's two different mental bodies that take form here. There's a fat, lethargic, and lazy one on that negative, and there's a clean, lean, strong, aesthetic mental body for you on that positive one. But for some reason, we like chasing that negative high. It's just like indulging in junk food, right? You're chasing a high to crash later. You're chasing a high to crash later. And when you do that, you feel yourself gain that weight over time. The heaviness burdens you more and more. It weighs you down. And physically, it keeps you closer to earth. And mentally, spiritually, it keeps you closer to earth. It keeps you weighed down. And it may not seem like it. If the negative has always been your experience, your environment, I know that gravity can be strong, and it may not seem like it, but you have the ability to choose. That negative downward slope, like we talked about, that mental body, that experience, that positive upward slope, you can train yourself on either one of these. And it may not seem like it, but you have the ability to become strong, mentally aesthetic, mentally clean, clarity from thought alone, from training yourself on a positive thought with the positive emotion that follows. You have the power to shed this laziness, this fat, this extra chub from your mind. And just like eating, you have the ability to choose. Just like a food diet, you have a mental diet. This mental diet can also bring you health and vitality. That's going to manifest from the inside out. When you circulate these positive feeling thoughts with a positive thought linked with a positive emotion right after it, you feel yourself get lighter, more athletic almost, more energized. So you run with these positive thoughts. You go on a run with these things. You take these positive thoughts and positive emotions and you run with them. And you just stack it. You run with it. You train yourself for a higher emotional baseline. You train yourself for a higher emotional baseline. Where do you sit emotionally? Where's your baseline? Is it in the junk? You can change that. It's like going to the gym. You train yourself for a different emotional baseline. You can sit higher. That's good to know. You have the ability to choose. The trick is you need to flex these atrophied muscles. It's all a muscle. It's all a muscle to be trained. You need to flex these atrophied muscles of excitement, of enthusiasm, of adventure, wonder. Inspiration. You need to flex these muscles. What does it feel like to experience those things? Flex those muscles. Train yourself on those positive thoughts and emotions. Raise your emotional baseline by doing that. Watch your mental body transform as you feed it real nourishment here. And when you experience this new mental body starting to take form, don't feel guilty, right? the negativity, the mentally fat and lethargic might try to shame you for this new mental body. You might feel very out of place with this new mental body of yours. One trained on and conditioned for the positive thought and the positive emotions, that upward slope. Don't feel guilty when you get yourself out of the rut. Don't feel out of place. Get yourself out of the rut strictly with thought. Strictly with thought. The thought and emotion. Nourish the mind with these positive feeling emotions, and you train yourself on these things. You go to the gym, you go to the mental gym. Go to the mental gym and you watch this clean and rich and prosperous and aesthetic body of mind take shape. You feel this new body of mind take shape. A new mental aesthetic.